Hi dear, welcome back to Timeless Wisdom. I'm truly glad you've decided to join us today. Let me start by asking, when was the last time you stepped outside, filled your lungs with fresh air, and just let yourself feel calm? For so many of us in our golden years, gardening has become much more than growing flowers or vegetables. It's now about finding peace of mind, creating comfort, and giving ourselves a reason to get up, stretch a little, and feel proud of something we've helped to grow. Maybe your knees don't bend like they once did. Maybe lifting heavy pots feels more like hard work than happiness these days. If that sounds familiar, know that you're definitely not alone, and you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to explore how to bring ease and joy back into gardening, how to make it something that energizes you, not something that leaves you worn out. So, pour yourself a cup of tea, get comfortable, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This is Timeless Wisdom, and trust me, your best days in the garden are still ahead. Part 1. Why gardening should never be a struggle. Now, let's be honest. Back in the day, many of us took pride in digging, hauling, pruning, till our shirts were soaked through. It was satisfying, sure, but today our bodies have different needs. Maybe your knees don't cooperate. Maybe your hands aren't as steady. That's perfectly okay. Gardening doesn't need to be a chore to be meaningful. In fact, it should be just the opposite. Your garden should give back to you peace, pleasure, even a little pride, without draining your energy. You don't need a perfect lawn or rows of veggies to feel that joy. Sometimes just planting a few herbs by the kitchen window is enough to make your day brighter. So let's stop thinking of gardening as hard work. Let's think of it as heart work, a way to nourish your spirit, not strain your back. Trust me, there's a gentler way and we're just getting started. Part 2. Start with one pot, then let it grow naturally. Now, don't let those magazine gardens fool you. You don't need a backyard bursting with blooms to feel the magic. Sometimes all it takes is one pot. That's right, one. A cheerful bunch of petunias by the front steps, a little basil or thyme growing on your windowsill. It's not about size, it's about starting. As we get older, our energy can come in waves. One day, we're full of zip. The next day, not so much. And that's why starting small is so powerful. One pot means less bending, less watering, and more chances to succeed. You'll learn what you enjoy, what thrives in your light and climate, and what truly brings you joy. And soon enough, that one pot will spark ideas. You'll add another, maybe a raised planter, and before you know it, your little corner becomes a living, breathing, blooming space you love to be in. Part 3. Low-maintenance plants, quiet stars of the garden. Let's be honest. These days, we want plants that pull their own weight. No divas, just steady growers that show up, do their thing, and brighten our day without asking for constant attention. That's where low-maintenance plants come in. They're like the dependable old friends of the garden world. Marigolds are a great place to start. Cheerful, pest-resistant, and always blooming. Lavender? Oh, it's pure delight. It smells wonderful, attracts butterflies, and doesn't fuss if you forget to water now and then. And don't overlook succulents. They're drought-tolerant and perfect for sunny windows or dry corners of the yard. Perennials like echinacea and black-eyed Susans come back year after year, needing just a trim and a smile. Hostas thrive in the shade and practically take care of themselves. Here's a tip, just between us. Go with native plants whenever possible. They know the local weather, handle it well, and ask for very little in return. It's a beautiful way to keep your garden thriving while you relax and enjoy the view. Part 4. Raised beds and container magic. Garden at your height. Let's face it, bending, crouching, and kneeling aren't quite as easy as they used to be. But that doesn't mean we have to give up the joy of planting and harvesting. The trick is to bring the garden up to our level. Raised beds are a real game changer. Waist-high wooden boxes, old wine barrels, or even sturdy crates stacked safely can let you garden standing up or seated on a stool. And for those of us with mobility issues, containers on wheels are a blessing. You can chase the sun or move your plants out of the wind without breaking a sweat. Even a repurposed bookshelf leaned against a wall makes a wonderful vertical herb garden. Just imagine snipping fresh basil or thyme without bending an inch. Elevated gardening is not just about comfort. It's about keeping gardening accessible, practical, and joyful for as long as we want to enjoy it. Because age shouldn't be a barrier to beauty. Part 5. Make your path safe and soothing. Now let's talk about something often overlooked, your garden paths. Because no matter how beautiful your flowers are, if getting to them feels risky, you're not going to enjoy the space. As we get older, our balance changes, our stride slows, and that's perfectly normal. But your garden should still feel like a safe, welcoming place to walk through. Start with clear, wide paths, nothing too narrow or uneven. Stepping stones set firmly in the ground, brick pavers or rubber tiles that stay steady even in the rain are great options. Skip gravel, it shifts too much underfoot and mulch can get slippery when wet. If you need a little extra support, don't hesitate to install a handrail or keep a garden cane nearby. And as the sun sets, solar lights along the walkway will help you find your steps and add a soft glow that makes the garden magical in the evenings. Remember, safety and beauty go hand in hand, and both start right under your feet. Part 6. A resting spot made just for you. Let's be honest, gardening isn't just about doing, it's about being. And every good garden needs a quiet place to sit, to soak it all in. A cosy bench tucked under a tree, a sturdy rocking chair by the flower bed, or even a hammock swinging gently in the breeze. This is your moment of rest. Add a small side table to hold your cup of tea, a favourite book, or maybe your garden journal. Make sure your chair is comfortable and steady, something you can get in and out of easily without wobbling or straining. And be thoughtful about the view. Maybe you face your hummingbird feeder or the spot where your daisies bloom. Maybe it's the sound of the wind chime or the scent of lavender nearby. This is your retreat, a place not to work, but to breathe, to think, to simply enjoy the life you've grown around you. Because in a garden built with love, the rest is just as important as the work. Part 7. Wake up your senses, a sensory garden experience. By now, your garden may already be lovely to look at, but what about the rest of your senses? As we grow older, we start to treasure the simple pleasures. A scent that stirs a memory, the texture of a leaf beneath our fingertips, the soft sound of water trickling nearby. That's why I always recommend creating a sensory garden. Add fragrant plants like rosemary, mint, or jasmine to tickle your nose and soothe your spirit. Let your hands explore fuzzy lamb's ear, cool moss, or the bumpy leaves of sage. These little touches bring you into the moment. Don't forget your ears. Hang a gentle wind chime, plant grasses that sway and rustle, or install a small fountain for a calming trickle of water. These sounds create a sense of peace and rhythm that can ease stress or brighten a quiet afternoon. A sensory garden isn't just beautiful, it's alive, and every time you step into it, you'll feel a little more alive too. Part 8. Gardening with a purpose. Grow what you eat now. Let's talk about something truly rewarding. Growing food you can eat. There's something special about stepping outside, snipping a bit of basil, or picking a fresh tomato that you grew yourself. And no, you don't need a big backyard or a green thumb to do it. A sunny balcony, a back porch, or even a few pots by the kitchen window is all you need to get started. Try easy favourites like cherry tomatoes, chives, basil, or lettuce. They grow fast, don't ask for much, and they add fresh flavour to your meals. And here's the bonus. When you grow your own herbs and veggies, you eat healthier without even trying. It gives you purpose, a little movement each day, and a lot of pride every time something ripens. So go ahead, plant that seed, watch it grow, and when you harvest it, you'll know exactly where it came from, right from your own hands, your own care, and your own little piece of paradise. Part 9. Go green with gentle practices. One of the beautiful things about growing older is that we start to think more about what we leave behind. And in the garden, that means working with nature, not against it. The good news? It doesn't take much to make your garden more sustainable, just a few thoughtful steps. Start simple. Place a rain barrel under your gutter to collect water for your plants. It's free, gentle on your back, and helps you save on your water bill. Next, turn kitchen scraps like coffee grounds, eggshells, and veggie peelings into compost. That rich, dark soil you make is a gift to your garden, and it costs you nothing. These small habits keep your garden thriving and give you a deeper sense of purpose. You're not just planting, you're giving back to the earth. You're closing the loop in the most natural way possible. And nature always remembers a kindness. It rewards you with more blooms, more bees, and a quiet sense of pride. Part 10. Water smarter, not harder. Let's talk about watering because honestly, hauling around a heavy hose or lifting watering cans every day isn't as easy as it once was. But that doesn't mean your plants have to go thirsty. These days, we've got smarter ways to keep the garden hydrated without all the back and forth. Start with self-watering pots. Many of them come with hidden reservoirs that slowly release moisture over several days. Just fill the bottom once, and your plants will take care of the rest. Soaker hoses and drip systems are another great option. Lay them out once, connect them to a timer or faucet, and let the water gently seep into the soil right where it's needed. And here's a simple DIY trick. Take a plastic bottle, poke a few holes in the cap, fill it with water and stick it upside down in the soil. It'll slowly release water as needed. Watering shouldn't wear you out. With a few easy tools and tweaks, you'll have more energy to enjoy the blooms instead of battling the hose. Part 11. Memories in the making. Gardening with grandchildren. If you've got grandkids, here's a beautiful idea. Bring them into the garden. There's something truly magical about watching little hands dig in the dirt, eyes wide with wonder, and hearing that sweet sound of laughter under the sun. You don't need a big yard. Just give them a small space, a pot, a box, or even a patch of soil. Let them choose what to grow. Sunflowers are a favourite. They sprout quickly and shoot up tall, just like kids do. Or give them paint and let them decorate flower pots with their names, little handprints, or colourful designs. As you plant together, tell them the names of the flowers, share your stories, maybe even a few old gardening tricks you've learned over the years. Take photos, make memories, and let the mess happen, because it's not about neat rows or perfect blooms. It's about passing something down. Patience, joy, tradition, and the love that grows right alongside the plants. Part 12. Fragrance and memory. Let scent lift your spirits. It's funny how a single scent can take us back in time. One whiff of lavender, and suddenly you're in your childhood backyard. A breeze carrying mint might remind you of your mother's kitchen or her favourite tea. That's the quiet power of fragrance, and it belongs in your garden. Plant lavender near your walkway or favourite chair. Add rosemary by the porch or mint in a pot, where you can reach out and gently crush a leaf. Let the scent rise up and meet you. Jasmine, honeysuckle, or even a simple rose can transform an ordinary evening into something deeply peaceful. The best part? These fragrant plants often need very little care, but they give so much in return. For many of us, especially in our later years, scent helps soothe the nerves, ease anxiety, and lift the mood. It connects us to happy memories while keeping us grounded in the beauty of the now. Part 13. Container trees. Big impact, small footprint. You might think trees are only for wide open yards, but that's simply not true. These days, there are plenty of small, slow-growing trees that do just fine in large containers. And for those of us who may not want to dig deep or manage heavy branches, this is a wonderful solution. Try a dwarf citrus tree, lemon or lime, for a burst of fragrance and even a bit of fruit. Or how about a Japanese maple for rich red foliage that changes with the seasons? Figs, olives, or even small evergreens can thrive in pots too. Just choose a sturdy, wide container, ideally one with wheels, so you can move it easily to catch the sunlight or avoid a storm. Add quality soil, keep it well watered, and you're set. These little trees offer more than just beauty. They create structure in your garden, bring a sense of growth over time, and become living companions, changing with the years, just like we do. Part 14. Repurpose with purpose. Upcycle for the soul. Here's one of my favourite gardening secrets. It doesn't take new things to make something beautiful. In fact, some of the most charming gardens I've ever seen were filled with old treasures given new life. And if you're like me, you've got a few of those tucked away in the shadowy attic. Take that chipped teacup you couldn't throw away. It makes the perfect little home for a succulent. Got an old wheelbarrow? Line it with soil, and suddenly you've got a rolling flower bed. Even an unused ladder leaning against the wall can become a vertical garden with a few potted herbs on each step. Upcycling is more than just saving money, it's telling a story. It makes your garden feel personal, like a living scrapbook filled with memories. Every item has a history, and now it has a purpose again. And the best part, you're doing something good for the earth while surrounding yourself with things that truly mean something. Part 15. Garden as therapy. Healing in every touch. Sometimes the garden gives us more than we ever expected. It's not just about plants, it's about peace. For many of us in our later years, gardening becomes a kind of therapy. A soft, quiet kind that doesn't need a prescription. Just a little time, a little sunlight, a little life. Studies show gardening lowers blood pressure, reduces stress, and even lifts the spirits when we feel lonely. But honestly, we don't need studies. We can feel it in the way our breathing slows when we're watering the basil, or how trimming back a few spent blooms brings a gentle kind of satisfaction. You don't have to spend hours, even 5 minutes touching the soil, noticing a new leaf. Watching a bee visit your blooms can bring a sense of calm. This is your sacred space, your time to reconnect with something simple, real, and grounding. In every leaf you touch, there's healing. In every bloom, a reminder you're still growing too. Part 16. Vertical gardening. Grow up, not out. If space or mobility is something you're working around, vertical gardening might just be your best friend. Instead of bending over wide garden beds or stretching beyond what's comfortable, we simply grow up. And no, I don't mean emotionally. We've done plenty of that already. A trellis, a wall planter, even a few stacked pots can create a lovely vertical space that's easy to care for and easy on the back. You can grow beans, tomatoes, strawberries, and even herbs this way without needing to crawl around in the dirt. And the best part? It looks stunning. A vertical garden creates layers of green, turning plain fences or walls into lush, living artwork. It's perfect for balconies, patios, or any small sunny spot. Want a fun project? Try reusing an old wooden pallet or a fabric shoe organizer. With a little soil and creativity, you'll have a charming garden that's within reach, literally and figuratively. Part 17. Add a touch of wildlife. Invite nature to visit. You know, some of my favourite garden moments don't come from the plants I've grown, but from the visitors who stop by. A butterfly dancing on a bloom, the soft buzz of a bee in the lavender, or a hummingbird zipping past like a jewel with wings. It reminds me I'm not gardening alone. I'm part of something bigger, and it doesn't take much to bring these gentle guests into your space. Plant a few native flowers, ones that naturally attract pollinators. Set out a shallow bird bath, maybe with a few pebbles for landing, or tuck a bundle of hollow bamboo sticks into a quiet corner, and you've built a bee hotel just like that. When we're older, we often move at a slower pace, but that's a gift. It means we can sit and notice things others miss. The way a bird sings before rain. The way a butterfly always returns to the same bloom. These little visitors keep us company and keep our spirits light. So let them in. Let your garden hum and flutter and sing. Because nature isn't just something to look at, it's something to share. Part 18. Keep tools handy, smart storage within reach. Let's be honest, there's nothing more frustrating than losing momentum because you can't find your gloves again. For those of us with a few more miles on our joints, bending, digging through clutter, or making extra trips can take the joy right out of a peaceful gardening day. That's why having a smart storage system right where you need it makes all the difference. Keep your essentials close: gloves, pruners, seed packets, even a kneeling pad. A small rolling caddy or a hanging organiser near the garden door works wonders. And here's a little creative twist. Repurpose an old mailbox or a wooden crate and mount it on a post near your beds. Rainproof, easy to access, and charming too. The key is minimising extra steps and saving your energy for what matters. Enjoying the garden itself. With everything in its place, your time outside becomes smoother, more enjoyable, and a whole lot more relaxing. Part 19. Colour for the soul. Choose colours that uplift. Let's talk about colour, because your garden isn't just a space for plants, it's a space for joy. And one of the easiest ways to lift your mood each day is to surround yourself with colours that speak to your spirit. Bright reds and oranges bring energy. They wake you up and spark a little excitement. Soft whites and gentle greens. They're peaceful, clean and calm. Blues and purples create a sense of stillness, perfect for quiet moments and morning coffee outdoors. Think beyond the flowers too. Paint a bench your favourite shade of turquoise. Choose pots and colours that make you smile. Even a yellow watering can hanging on a hook can bring a little sunshine into your day. At our age, we've earned the right to live in colour. Your garden should reflect you, your energy, your story, your joy. Because happiness, just like a flower, thrives when you let it bloom in full colour. Part 20. Gardening through the seasons. Keep the joy going year-round. Just because summer ends doesn't mean your garden has to. In fact, some of the most beautiful and peaceful moments in the garden happen when the world slows down. With just a bit of planning, you can enjoy your green space all year long. In the fall, plant pansies or mums for bursts of colour that last through the chill. In winter, bring life to your patio with evergreens in pots. Add a bird feeder for cheerful company, or decorate with pine cones and dried branches for a natural touch. And then spring, that moment when daffodils and tulips poke through the soil like little reminders that life keeps going. All it takes is a little space in your heart and in your garden for new life to bloom. As the years pass, the changing seasons become more meaningful, each one carrying its own rhythm and unique wisdom. Let your garden reflect that natural flow, offering you peace, beauty, and a sense of purpose all year round, from January to December. So there you have it, dear friends, 20 gentle ways to bring ease, joy, and deeper meaning back into your gardening journey. Whether you tend to a sprawling backyard or nurture a single pot on your windowsill, remember, your garden is so much more than just plants. It's your personal sanctuary, a space to heal, create, reflect, and continue growing at any age. If today's video from Timeless Wisdom made you smile, sparked a memory, or inspired a new idea, I hope you'll carry that feeling with you into your own garden. Thank you, truly, for spending this time with me. Don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom for more heartfelt stories, inspiration, and guidance. And as always, may your hands stay gentle and your back stay strong.